you're thinking about living in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys. Well, in this video, we're going to visit the Piedmont region of Virginia and take a look at Charlottesville. And if you hang around to the end of the video, I am going to give you some specific market data just for Charlottesville about its neighborhoods and its price ranges in its neighborhoods. So you won't want to miss out on that. So hang around to the end, but we're going to go ahead and get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, and playing here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys and in towns like Charlottesville, then click on that subscribe button and touch that bell icon so you can be the first to be notified about all the current real estate market information here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys. Hi, my name's Stefan, along with my wife Leslie, who, if you've watched our videos, you've probably seen before. And we get phone calls and emails every day from folks just like you who are looking to buy a home or to sell a home here in Virginia's mountains and valleys. And as real estate agents, we absolutely love to help those folks when they call. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Shoot us a text, send us an email. That information's all in the description down below, and we'll be happy to help you sell your home or purchase a home here in Virginia's mountains and valleys as smoothly as possible. Now, as I said earlier in the video, today we're going to talk about Charlottesville, Virginia, and I'm going to pull up a map. I'm going to show you some of the places in Charlottesville. I'm going to show you some of the neighborhoods as well, and how far to go to certain places. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started right now. So when we pull up the map here of Charlottesville, you kind of get an idea of where the boundaries of Charlottesville, a rough idea of where they are. But we'll talk a little bit about more inside the town in just a second. But right now, let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. And I want to talk about where it is in relation to some other places. I mentioned it was in the Piedmont region, and you can see that right along here, these are the Blue Ridge Mountains just to the west of Charlottesville. And that's one of the great things about Charlottesville is where it sits. It's in such a beautiful, beautiful area. But as far as other places go, if you're looking to get down in here to Richmond, you can get down to the outside of the town about 50 minutes, and it's about an hour to get from downtown Charlottesville to downtown Richmond. And if you want to go ahead, you want to have a weekend on the beach, and you kind of go ahead and continue to travel on down I-64 here, down through Newport News, and you're going to come out right here in Virginia Beach. That's going to take you about 3 hours to get there. If traffic's good, maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes from Charlottesville. Now going north, there's multiple ways that you can go north, but really the fastest way most of the time is to go right up Highway 29 and then come over here on Interstate 66 and go straight into Washington, D.C. And that's going to take you about 2 hours and 15 minutes to get there that way. I mentioned the Blue Ridge Mountains just a minute ago. One of the great things about it is just right here at the top of the mountain here is Shenandoah National Park. You go north through the park here, and if you want to go south, you can go on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and all of that is within 30 minutes of downtown Charlottesville. So if we zoom in here just a little bit on Charlottesville, we're going to get an idea of some of the roads that go around Charlottesville. I've already mentioned Interstate 64, which goes over the Appalachian Mountains and the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it goes all the way down to Virginia Beach, and that is the largest east-west corridor. If you're going to go north and south, the quickest way is to go up Highway 29, and that will take you all the way, like I say, to Washington, D.C. in the north, and it goes down to Lynchburg, Virginia in the south. And you also see Highway 250. Highway 250 pretty much parallels Interstate 64 for a good portion of it, but there is a part of it here that cuts through Charlottesville as well. And as you can see, it's kind of formed almost a triangle, almost a flattened circle on one side, I guess you could say. And that's kind of when we think about Charlottesville, those kind of some of the road boundaries that Charlottesville is bound by. But of course, Charlottesville itself is not bound by those in particular. A lot of Charlottesville has grown over the years. We have the Commonwealth area up here, the Rio area, and we're even starting to see development down here in south of Charlottesville as well. Of course, the Pantops area, we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but that's the east of town. But like I say, Charlottesville is a developing area. The entire population of Charlottesville City, however, is only about 47,000 people. And so it's not a large city, but being the size that it is, it does get a lot of, you do have a lot of amenities in Charlottesville. And so, of course, one of the things about Charlottesville is it sits in the cradle of a lot of American history. It's Virginia, of course, is known as the mother of presidents here. 8 presidents have come from the state of Virginia, and 4 of the first 5 did, and 3 of them live within about 45 minutes of Charlottesville. The one that is the closest to Charlottesville and probably the most popular here, living in Monticello, was where Thomas Jefferson, our 3rd president of the United States, lived. And if you haven't been to Monticello, if you're local here in the area and you haven't been, you absolutely got to go. Just like all of these places, you got to go and you got to experience some of Virginia's history. Of course, a little bit way down the road here is James Monroe. He was the 5th president of the United States, and his place there is called Highland. Another great afternoon visit, or place to spend an afternoon. Of course, if we go just a little bit further out, if we go to Orange, Virginia, which is right up here, so you can go up Highway 15 from Charlottesville, you're going to find the estate of James Madison. James Madison, of course, was our 4th president of the United States, and that has recently been remodeled and is a beautiful, beautiful place to go. So we're going to go ahead and zoom back in here, and we're going to take a look at some of the specific areas here that are kind of well known in the city of Charlottesville. Probably one of the most popular places and one of the neatest places is right here is the downtown mall. And the downtown mall, it really has a vibe all of its own. It's 8 blocks of shopping and restaurants. As a matter of fact, there's over 120 shops and over 30 restaurants right there in the downtown mall. While there, you can visit the Paramount Theater, the Ting Pavilion, and like I say, just a whole lot of different stores, a whole lot of different shops, a lot of things to do right there in downtown Charlottesville. As we zoom back out, though, we're going to look at the Highway 29 corridor, as I often call it. And right along here in Highway 29, especially the business area here, on up in through Commonwealth and all the way up, pretty much up to the Ravenna River now, we have a lot of shopping that takes place here. In this area, you're going to find stores like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, LL Bean. There's a mall that's there, and of course, like most malls, doesn't have a whole lot in it, like a whole lot of the malls do. But there are some things there, and you're going to find restaurants there like Outback and Texas Roadhouse and Chipotle, and that's just going to be an area where you're going to find a lot of that type of industry there. We can also go ahead and we'll move back down into the eastern side, and I mentioned the Pantops area. And over here in the Pantops area, you're going to find, again, a lot of restaurants in that area. You're going to find like a giant food store there. Also down here, there's Martha Jefferson Hospital is in that area or close to it. And you also have a lot of some of the car dealerships are out in that area as well. And then finally, last but not least, one final place that I want to go and show you here in Charlottesville is the 5th Street, which is right down here on Interstate 64 and 5th Street. And 5th Street and I-64, 5th Street Station, there's a shopping center there. And the name of it has a Dick's Sporting Goods. It has an outdoors store. It has other restaurants as well. So those are pretty much some of the destinations that if you live in the Charlottesville area, you may find yourself going back to from time to time. Of course, there's a lot of other places in Charlottesville as well, and that's one of the neat things about it. Each neighborhood kind of has its own vibe to a certain extent, and there are restaurants throughout the different neighborhoods, and we'll take a look at some of those neighborhoods, like I say, here toward the end of the video. So there's one other place here that I want to go ahead and I want to show you in Virginia as well. Of course, it's a large part of the town, being a college town, and that is the University of Virginia, which sits down in this part of town here. And of course, a very historic university. You can visit the Rotunda downtown, or down here at the college. A really neat place to go through and tour it. We got some of those pictures you may see here as I'm talking to you right now, but just a really neat place to go and to tour and to visit. Of course, the rotunda was designed by Thomas Jefferson, and just the University of Virginia, a lot going on there, and it adds a lot to the community as well. Now, it has about 17,000 students there, and if you're looking for top of the line education, you can see here on this slide that it is one of the premier educational institutions in the United States, according to a ranking that was done by U.S. News and World Report. So let's go ahead and let's talk about recreation. One of the great things about Charlottesville is that it has a lot of recreational opportunities. As a matter of fact, I'll show you this slide here. These are the parks, or just some of the parks. I mean, there's other parks as well that are here in the Charlottesville area. And you can see there's some that aren't pictured as well, a little north of town or west of town. But like I say, just a great opportunity. If you're, whatever neighborhood you're living in, there's probably going to be a park near you. And one of the parks I want to go ahead and talk about is Greenbrier Park. And we've talked about in some of our other videos about the Greenbrier neighborhood, and a really nice neighborhood. It's an established neighborhood, but it's you got a lot of homes that have wooded lots, and you have this park that kind of runs right through the middle of this neighborhood. Here in Greenbrier Park, you're going to find nature trails and a butterfly greenway. It's 28 acres, and it's undeveloped. There's biking trails and walking trails there. Sycamore groves, there's a meadow, and there's Greenbrier Marsh, and the Ravenna Trail. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but the Ravenna Trail passes right through Greenbrier Park. So that's just another really neat place in Charlottesville that you can go and walk and you can visit. Another one is Darden Tow Park, and Darden Tow Park, as you can see, is a little bit larger. Penn Park is just to the north of it, and Penn Park is where the golf course is, but Darden Tow Park has a lot of different amenities to it, and you can see some of those here that are on the screen. But I mean, it's got a kayak launch that you can put into the Ravenna River there, and of course it's dog friendly. It has it's a 100-acre park that has 4 multi-purpose athletic fields and 3 softball fields. It's got pickleball courts as well, and as you can see, batting cages, a dog park, and just a whole lot of neat things to do there at Darden Tow Park. So another one of the parks I want to go ahead and talk about is Mead Park. And even though Mead Park is very small, it's only 0.2 acres. One of the reasons I bring it up, it is home to the Onesti Family Aquatic Center, which is a great center for the folks there living in the Charlottesville area. They have a playground there as well, and they actually have a playground with what they call the tot area for children ages 2 to 5. There's picnic shelters there as well. One of the other places I mentioned, it wasn't on the map, but here it is now, is the Haywood Community Forest and the Ragged Mountain Natural Area. This is 142 acres of underdeveloped forest land. It has rock outcroppings and a mountainous topography. There's trails that you can hike on, and you can see there's the lake that goes along with it. And I mean, just a lot of neat things that you can do, and like I say, just barely outside of the Charlottesville area. So there's great opportunities, and that just scratches the surface, really, of some of the things that there are to do activity-wise in Charlottesville. But let's go ahead and talk about trails, okay? You can see here on the map, Charlottesville has no shortage of trails, and one of those trails that I mentioned is the Ravenna Trail. Pretty much follows the river on the eastern side, but then it goes pretty much all the way around the town of Charlottesville. So a great trail to get on, to walk, and a bike as well. And like I said, just a neat thing to have there in Charlottesville. And of course, if you want to go and hike the ultimate trail on the East Coast, that being the Appalachian Trail, you've only got a 30-minute drive to the west, and you can hike up and down the Appalachian Trail. Of course, there's multiple different places. I already mentioned the Ravenna River, but there's other rivers as well nearby where you can canoe and kayak till your heart is content. So since we're talking about recreational, let's go ahead and talk about one of my favorites, and that is golf. There are multiple golf courses around the Charlottesville area, and some of them are absolutely some of the highest ranked courses in the United States, as a matter of fact. So let me here, and you can see I've zoomed out a little bit so that we can see some of the ones that are kind of near Charlottesville. But we'll go ahead and we'll start right up here in the Penn Park area, and that is home to the Meadowbrook Golf Course. Meadowbrook is a public course. Greens fees are going to run you, depending upon whether you're walking or riding, between $37 and $57, depending on what time of year it is. And they do have a membership that's available, but a very nice course there in Charlottesville. To come out just to the western side here, you're going to find Birdwood Golf Course at the Boar's Head Inn. This is a stunning golf course, and matter of fact, it was just recently redesigned by Davis Love III, and Golf Digest voted it in 2021 as its best public renovated course for that year. Like I say, it's an amazing course. As a matter of fact, it's the home course to the University of Virginia. And depending upon what time of year it is, you can play that course between $100 and $160, of course, depending upon maybe a little more than that sometimes, but depending upon whether or not you are riding or walking. Another club that just north of Birdwood is Farmington Country Club, and man, Farmington Country Club is a beautiful, beautiful golf course. They are a private course, and they do have an initiation membership and then an annual membership to join. Like another private country club located just southeast of town here is the club at Glenmore, another beautiful facility with initiation and annual membership. But both of those are beautiful, beautiful places. Another place, if you're looking for kind of a resort type place, is the Full Fry Golf Course at Keswick Hall. It's a semi-private course. It was designed by Pete Dye, and you can get a room there starting in the $400, and you can stay there and enjoy the golf course while you were there. Another place just to the west is here in Crozet, and that is Old Trail Golf Club. Old Trail is a public course about 20 minutes to the west of Charlottesville. Green fees, depending upon whether you're walking and what time of year, are about $54 to $104. And then finally, last but not least, all the way over here, just north of Zion's Crossroads, is Spring Creek Golf Club. And Spring Creek Golf Club, about 20 minutes to the east of Charlottesville, was actually got back in. It's been in and out since it was built, but this past year got back into Golf Digest top 100 public courses that you can play in the United States. There is memberships available there, but really for a top 100 golf course, you can get a twilight rate in the summertime for about $85, and the rates go up to $175. And like I say, there are multiple fantastic golf courses here in the area. And so if you're a golfer, you definitely have the opportunity to play some very, very nice courses in the area. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move just a little bit to the east here, and I'm going to show you a couple ski retreats. If you like to snow ski, relatively close, the closest one of those is Wintergreen, and Wintergreen is about an hour away by the time you get to the top of the mountain from downtown Charlottesville. Both of these are four-season resorts. Each one of them has multiple golf courses, and of course, and then Massanutten, it has up here, just to the north up here, just east of Harrisonburg, it has actually an indoor water park as well for the winter. But both of those places have a full scale of events and activities that take place throughout the year and are a big for a lot of the folks that live here in the area. So, of course, one of the most important things about being in Charlottesville is where to eat, right? Well, don't worry, Charlottesville has plenty, hundreds of both name brand, nationally recognized restaurants you would recognize, as also a lot of mom and pop, I guess, type places you would say, and just a lot of good dining. I can't begin to mention all of them, but a few of them that people talk about all the time are the Ivy Inn, and that's in the Barracks Venable area, and it's a great place if you're looking for fine dining. Another one is the Fleuret restaurant, which is in the downtown mall, and that is extremely fine dining. So if you're looking for fine dining, those two probably won't disappoint you. If you like Latin American food, you're going to want to go to Zacalo. It's in the north downtown area in Charlottesville, and you're going to get a lot of good food there. Of course, a Turkish restaurant, there's the Sultan Kebab there in town. And one of my favorite restaurants is Moose by the Creek. It's just comfort food, nothing fancy, but lots of fun while you're there. And you can even have your picture taken with a set of moose antlers while you're there. Just a really neat place to go. And then finally, if you haven't been to Bodo's Bagels, you gotta go to Bodo's Bagels. It is just a fantastic bagel place to go. They're amazing. So make sure, if you live here in the area, make sure you stop here by Bodo's Bagels. Of course, there's other things as far as food and drink that are in the area as well. By that, I'm talking about breweries and wineries, and the Charlottesville Ale Trail with its breweries that it has, and its cider mills and its distilleries, and just a lot of different things right here in Charlottesville and just outside the area that you can enjoy as far as craft or brews are concerned. If you're looking for wineries, there's the Monticello Wine Trail. That's over 40 wineries within 25 miles of Charlottesville. And one of those that I always think about is the King Family Vineyard, which on Sundays, they during the summertime, they play polo there, and just a lot of different, and some of them just absolutely amazing, beautiful settings that you can go and you can enjoy. Let's talk about arts and culture. What is there as far as arts and culture? Well, Charlottesville is, again, it's kind of like the restaurants. I'm just going to scratch the surface. But if you're looking for theaters, there's a multitude of theaters, even some that I'm not going to list here. But you've got the 1912 Jefferson Theater, where you're going to hear a lot of concerts. You've got the Live Arts Theater, which is a performing arts theater. The Spectrum Theater, which is a community theater. Then, of course, you've got the University of Virginia, where every year they have a theater festival there that takes place on their campus. And there's just, like I say, there's a multitude of different theaters that you can enjoy, and the arts as well. As far as music goes, there are art museums all through Charlottesville as well. And then, of course, on top of that, you have artisans from all around the area, and you're going to find some of those in the downtown mall. You're going to find some of those out and around town, and then you're going to find some of them at different festivals, which leads me to my next point, the festivals in the area. Virginia, the Charlottesville area is known for the Virginia Film Festival. It's one of the most respected regional destination film festivals in the United States. It's held at the end of October every year, but make sure, and you can start getting tickets at the beginning of October. Another place, if you like horse racing, in the spring and in the fall, especially in the fall, you got to go and you got to enjoy the Foxfield races. Over 20,000 people will go to enjoy those races, and there's food trucks there, and there's activities for families and activities for children as well. Of course, there's tons of arts and crafts festivals around the area. If you like racing, 5K runs and things like that, there's a multitude of races and fitness events that take place at different places throughout the year. And I kind of alluded to this earlier, there's farmers markets all over. So if you're looking for that fresh fruit, or you're looking for mineral oils and things like that, you're going to find that Charlottesville is a great place for that type of thing. And one other place I want to mention, I've already mentioned it, but that's the University of Virginia. Of course, with the University of Virginia, you have opportunity to see ACC football games and ACC basketball games and all the other sports that the University of Virginia plays. Likewise, all of their fine arts programs that they have there as well. So, like I say, there's no shortage of things to do and places to go in the Charlottesville area. So at the beginning of the video, I told you that if you hung around to the end of the video, I would share with you some specific information regarding some of the neighborhoods in the Charlottesville area, as well as some of the homes in those neighborhoods. And with that being said, I want to take a look here at the first slide. And right now, Realtor.com says that the median sold price in the Charlottesville area is about $465,000. And what I did is I took out all of the condos here on this list, and that's what I came up with, was $465,000 for anything 2-bedroom and over. Now, you'll also see here in the other column that there's an average price as well, and you can see that they vary and they differ, and that's just mathematically how they figure those different values. But to give you an idea, you can see what the average 2-bedroom or the median 2-bedroom home sells for in the Charlottesville area, as well as 3, 4, and then 5 plus. So that kind of gets you an idea about those homes. Now, I also didn't want to leave out the the condos there as well. So all of the condos in the Charlottesville area, their median price within the last year has sold for $303,000 and is an average of $358,000, as you can see. So let's look at some of the neighborhoods. First of all, we're going to go from low to high as far as price goes. And so there's 3 neighborhoods. You can see they're toward the south side here in Charlottesville that are all in the $300,000 range. Bytheville, Jefferson Park, and Willoughby. In that particular neighborhood, you can see the different days on the market that those houses were and the average price range. And the most consistent of those you can see is the Willoughby area. But other than that, because even though those areas are $300,000 price, you can see there's still $800,000 homes in some of those areas as well, according to the spread. Down in the next list I want to look at here is the largest grouping, and that is homes in the $400,000. And these are the neighborhoods of Ridge Street, Fry Spring, Locust Grove, Belmont, Johnson Village, and Rose Hill. And most of those, again, on the south side of town, although Locust Grove and Rose Hill is to the north side of Charlottesville. And again, you can see the median and average prices there. And I mean, look in the Belmont neighborhood, for example, the range of prices, $164,000. I'm sure that was a fixer-upper to over $1 million in that neighborhood. And you look in the final column there, you can see that houses over the last year have not stayed on the market very long. So if there's a house, especially if it's in good shape, it's priced right, it's going to sell very quickly. One neighborhood that came out in the $500,000 range, that's the Woolen Mills neighborhood, and just on the other side of the river from Pantops there, and fairly close to the downtown mall in Charlottesville. So we're going to move on up and look at the $600,000 range here, and this would be the Martha Jefferson neighborhood and the Greenbrier neighborhood. I mentioned the Greenbrier neighborhood earlier with the Greenbrier Park there, and it's being a well-established neighborhood. Martha Jefferson, of course, is as well. And you can see that those homes in those areas, again, 5-6 days in the market was all that they stayed, and the median price in those markets was about $660,000 for sold homes. If you're looking for an area in the 700,000s, you're going to look in the Barracks Rugby area and in the North Downtown area. And again, you have different areas in each one of those neighborhoods where you're going to find smaller homes, maybe in the $300,000 range, but you're also going to find neighborhoods in that area where there are homes that are priced over $1 million as well. And finally, the neighborhood, if you're looking for a $1 million neighborhood inside of Charlottesville, you would want to take a look at the Venable area in Charlottesville, just north of the University of Virginia, certainly within walking distance is the southern part of the University of Virginia. Is the Venable area, and the average price there was over $1 million. And again, but you can still see parts of that area. There were homes in the 300,000s, but they range all the way up into the $2 million areas. So as long as we looked inside of Charlottesville, I thought it might be interesting to go ahead and look on the outside of Charlottesville as well. And these are much larger geographical areas, as you can see. And so obviously there's going to be neighborhoods that are in the $800, $900 million range, possibly even in some of these areas. But there's also going to be other areas. Again, these are just average or median numbers. So, but again, you see a lot of the 400,000s are on the south side of Interstate 64 and on the north side of Highway 250, right along the Highway 29 area, what we would call the Commonwealth area. So on the south side of town, in Charlottesville South, you're going to see neighbors of the town of Simeon and Lake Renovia and Lyman Hills, Mill Creek, Redfields, Whittington. All those are certain neighborhoods. And again, some of those are going to be, many of them are going to be over the $400,000 price range. But on average, that's what the house is sold for in that area. On the north side of town, the Commonwealth area, Hessian Hills area, those are areas that are going to, along with the Westmoreland and Rio and Branchlands, those are all neighborhoods in the $400,000 average. Also, in the $500,000 areas, we move up to that. Then basically the northeast side of town, neighborhoods like Wildwood and Delora and Key West and Maple Ridge, those are neighborhoods that were in averaged again in these broad areas in the $500,000 range. 600,000, a smaller neighborhood is the Fontana neighborhood, and on the east side of Charlottesville. And there's townhouses in part of the Fontana neighborhood, and then there's large homes in the 7, 8, 900,000, even $1 million in that area as well, bringing it to that average of 600,000. If you want to go to the northwest side of town, the further you get out, especially toward Farmington Country Club that I mentioned, you're going to find homes in the 700,000s, and like toward the Farmington Country Club, over in the $1 million area as well. But the Barracks Rugby area, again, that averages out some of the homes that are in the Farmington Country Club area. And then there is a $1 million neighborhood, and that is an extension of what we saw there, the Venable area, and it continues to go right on out to the west side of Charlottesville. And this is the neighborhoods of Bel Air and Ednam, around Birdwood Golf Course and the Boar's Head Resort there. And very, very exclusive and very nice area of town. If you're looking for an exclusive area of town, this would definitely be one of the areas that you would want to look in the Charlottesville area. So I want to go ahead and share my screen here with you again, and I want to talk about some of the homes that in some of the neighborhoods in Charlottesville that we just talked about. So you can see the home that I have here is currently in the Fry Springs neighborhood. It's on the market for $450,000. It has 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. It has 1,366 square feet of living space. It was built in 1952, and as you can see from the pictures, it has hardwood floors on the main level. It does have carpeting on the lower level. There's a partially finished basement as well, and there's a patio with a fenced-in area as well. So like I say, this is in the Fry Spring area, so the south side of Charlottesville, and just give you an idea of what a home in that neighborhood looks like. So I want to go in here and move to another neighborhood, and this is the Delora neighborhood, just on the north side of town. And the house that you see here is currently on the market. It's listed for $695,000. It has 5 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. It was built in the year 2000. It has 3,760 square feet of living space. It sits on exactly 1/3 of an acre at 0.33 acres. One of the neatest things about it is it sets it backs up to a common wooded area. It has new carpet in it. It has hardwood flooring, updated kitchen, and as you can see, an open floor plan. Got some amazing elevated wooded views from nearly all of the windows. Has a large 2-story family room with a gas fireplace. It has a large unfinished basement featuring a home office and a full bathroom and bedroom. Has an elevated deck on the rear. As well, has a large side entry 2-car garage, and it has the Delora neighborhood has amenities that are very, very nice. You can see some of those pictures with the tennis courts, the pool, soccer fields, trails. So just really a nice home in a nice neighborhood. And then finally, last but not least, let's go ahead and we'll move up here into the Key West area. The Key West area, this home is currently on the market. It's listed for $869,900. As you can see, it's set in a beautiful, beautiful setting. It has 4 bedrooms and 4 baths. It was built in 2007. Has 4,129 square feet of living space, and it sits on over an acre, 1.02 acres. One of the neatest things about it is located on a cul-de-sac, and it also has mountain views. As you can see, it has an open floor plan. It has a large kitchen with a nice breakfast nook, has a screened-in porch on the back, and the main master bedroom, suite, and laundry room are all on the main floor. Has a nice stone-wrapped patio leading to the backyard. And again, it is in the Key West community. And so the Key West community also has some nice amenities as well, such as a pool and tennis courts as well. So again, another really, really nice home in a very nice neighborhood. Well, I hope this video has helped you to get you an idea of where some of the things are in Charlottesville and where some of the neighborhoods are located and some of the average or median prices in those neighborhoods. And like I say, Leslie and I, we get phone calls and emails every day, and we absolutely love to help those folks, whether they're looking to sell a home or whether they're looking to purchase a home. So whether you're looking to make a move in 9 days or 90 days, just pick up the phone and give us a call, shoot us a text, send us that email. Matter of fact, we've been talking to 2 or 3 people just today about that, and we're excited to be able to help them here in the area. And so give us a call. We want to help you. We want to make the process as easy as possible for you. But coming to the end of another video, and like I always say at the end of every video, until next time, we'll see you around town.